Baha'u'llah once said, "So powerful is the light of unity that it can illuminate the whole earth." Though he said in religious terms, unity is indeed a very important relationship, which is why physics needs to pull up its big boy pants and fix some things. Quantum mechanics holds claim to describing the first three fundamental forces of nature: electromagnetism, strong force, and weak force. But we forgot something. Oh yeah, gravity. Gravity is rather described under another theory, general relativity. For forces to happen, there needs to be an interaction between certain particles. For example, electromagnetism meditates at the interaction of photons. For gravity, this particle is called a graviton. But the problem arises because it can't interact at the distances allowed in quantum mechanics. That is why it rather works in general relativity, because the distance allowance is larger. But what could possibly unify all four forces under one theory if all these problems exist? Well, Mr. Average Person, it all comes down to an idea called string theory. String theory is a theoretical framework that starts out by describing all the elementary particles as one-dimensional objects rather than point particles. When we look closer, these objects resemble, well, strings. Something else we can observe is that these strings vibrate, and much like a string on an instrument, each different way of vibration generates a special note. On these strings, each note is a different particle. This is because the vibrations give the string its properties, like mass and charge. These different variations of properties are what we see as the elementary particles. Now back to our little problem here. Quantum mechanics, as I've said before, won't allow gravitons to work because it only allows interactions at 0-point distances. They need to be this far apart, for example, to operate. What the nature of strings does is that it smears out space-time enough to allow the gravitons to work. And you know what that means? Unification. But oh no, it doesn't stop there. There are even more things that string theory does. For one, string theory predicts that there are actually 10 dimensions. That's a whole whopping 6 more dimensions than we previously knew about. This is because strings can only self-consistently vibrate in those conditions. Another intriguing property of string theory is the fact that strings can either be closed or open. For open strings, there are certain boundaries that restrict a string's behavior. They are allowed to freely fluctuate in space as long as one end of it is locked into place on a 2-dimensional spatial surface called a brane. The idea of branes alone opens up the curiosity that maybe we live on one of these branes, and that there could be other branes holding other universes. But as for now, we can't be for sure, because it's just a theory. String theory.